There are more than 700 people here. This is the overflow room behind me, and it's overflowing too. It's kind of an amazing story when you consider that this is a company with just a few hundred employees and just 440 shareholders to get this kind of turnout for the annual meeting. But of course, they come because they want to hear all kinds of wit and wisdom coming from Charlie Munger. He calls this his groupies, and he has been holding court today, as you might expect. There have been all kinds of sort of life wisdom pieces that he's tossed out, all kinds of thoughts on business, including this parable he told just a little bit ago that describes one type of business on Wall Street.
This man has this wonderful horse, and it's just a marvelous horse. It's got an easy gait and good looking and everything. It just works wonderfully, but also occasionally just gets so he's dangerous and vicious and causes enormous damage and trouble and breaks arms and legs for his rider and so on. And he goes to the vet and says, "What can I do about this horse?" And the vet says, "That's a very easy problem, and I'm glad to help you." He says, "What should I do?" And the man says, "The next time your horse is behaving well, sell it." Well, think of how immoral that is. And haven't I just described what private equity has to do?
Kelly, when it comes to what he's talking about in terms of life and how he thinks people here should be living their lives, he's told a couple interesting stories, too, that relate back to Mozart. He said that there was a young man who was about 23 years old who came to Mozart and said, "I want to write symphonies. Can you tell me how to write symphonies?" And Mozart said, "How old are you?" He said, 23. He said, "You can't. You're too young. You just can't do it yet." And the young man said to Mozart, "Well, wait a second. Didn't you start writing symphonies when you were just 10 years old?" And Mozart said, "Yes, I did, but I wasn't running around asking people how to do it." He then went on to say that Mozart, despite his brilliance in this entire situation, lived a very unhappy life. He said he overspent his income drastically, and he had all kinds of petty jealousies that made him die young, broke, and unhappy. And Charlie said there are lessons that we can all learn from that. He said basically the truth of the matter is not everybody can do everything, and no matter how good you are, there will always be somebody else who comes along who can do something better than you can, and you better just learn to live with those things if you want to have a happy life. Now, he's continuing to hold court and take questions from people at this point. In fact, he just took a shot at Elon Musk. I'm not entirely sure what that was. I'm going to go back inside and find out, but you can hear the crowd laughing behind.